I'd barely known my roommate a week and he was already having a steamy couple shower in our only bathroom. I clawed myself out of bed around 2 in the morning and, before I even reached the door, I was stunned to see the bathroom light blazing. Weird noises leaked through the frosted glass, my new roommate flirting with some stranger. Baby, his low, attractive voice slipped through the door and thudded straight into my eardrums. My ears caught fire. I practically fled, with just the one bathroom in the whole place. I had no choice but to brave the public toilets downstairs. A week earlier I'd grabbed the cheapest room I could find, never imagining I'd be sharing with a total guy stranger. A paper-thin wall separated our bedrooms. Even normal volume conversation bled straight through. Chase was one of those almost famous pretty boy actors, forever chasing the breakout role that would rocket him to the stratosphere. He looked like a young Jay Cho. Tall, lanky, a lopsided bad boy grin and killer eyes. I'd admit I'd nursed a tiny crush, until tonight's mortifying soundtrack smashed it. When I got back from the restroom the bathroom light was still on, show still running. I refused a second listen, sprinted to my room, locked the door, and stared at the ceiling until dawn. Next day, another glorious round of wage slavery. I dragged myself up early and found Chase already awake, parked in the single armchair, long legs folded, eyelids low, an unlit cigarette between his elegant fingers. Obnoxiously hot, obnoxiously cool. Remembering last night, I hesitated, then opened my mouth. About last night, he lifted his gaze. Calm, flat water. Did you bring someone home? I sucked in a breath and hurled the words out. Even saying it felt mortifying. Oh. He arched a brow, utterly unfazed. Slowly lit the cigarette. Voice cold. So what if I did? His indifference iced me over. The lease agreement says no overnight guests. You wrecked my sleep. Next time I'm reporting you to landlord. I stared him down. Celebrity status be damned. He stared back, then stood and walked toward me, step by lazy step. I thought he might hit me and instinctively backed up until cold wall met my shoulder blades, nowhere left. He raised a hand. I flinched, eyes squeezing shut. No blow came. When I opened them again, inches away were smiling peach blossom eyes. One palm braced on the wall. He leaned in, caging me. Babe. Jealous? Be babe. My eyes went wide. Do we even know each other? I shoved him away, heart hammering. Please behave. I'm only reminding you. No more strangers overnight. Don't flatter yourself. Face flaming. I bolted for the bathroom. Cold tap on full. I splashed water until the roar drowned my pulse. Zero boundaries. This guy. The front door clicked shut. He'd finally left. Imagination or not, the bathroom now smelled of cheap perfume and lust. A woman's blouse dangled over the tub rim. Temperature rising again. I looked away and left. One petty theft later, the bastard had swiped my breakfast burrito on his way out. Shameless. I muttered, stomping to work, stomach growling. Blues shifts are tedious, but the parade of gorgeous customers keeps me coming back. Someone rapped the bar. Miss One Ocean. That voice, smooth, familiar. I looked up. Those same narrow, flirtatious eyes, fresh off some variety show. He wore a sequin jacket and a mask that couldn't hide the rebellious tuft of hair, pure pop idol sparkle. Well, am I handsome? He teased. I glanced away. Your oceans being mixed. He straddled a stool, coat open, black shirt thin enough to map the ridges beneath. I slid the drink over. Instead of taking it, he crooked a finger, winked, beckoning me closer. Suspicious. I leaned in. Warm breath brushed my ear. I brought a friend. Help me in a minute. A tiny white pill appeared between his fingers. Vitamin candy my ass. Not happening. Dream on. Surprise flickered. Then he chuckled, stood, sauntered off. Within minutes his trademark grin had the girl glowing. She never noticed when the candy dropped from his palm into her glass. I started forward. Mindy, lend me a hand. Rivera appeared from the back. Slow night. Help me shift stock. Elegant. Unarguable. She was already heading to the storeroom. I glanced at Chase's table, hesitated, then followed her. 10 minutes later I hurried back. They were gone. The girl, probably already hooked. I sighed, equal parts pity and guilt. Maybe if I'd stayed. I zombie walked through the rest of the shift. 11 p.m. Shoes off. I tiptoed past Chase's door, ajar. Curiosity murdered caution. One peek, someone was in there. I froze, nailed to the floorboards. Chase, mid-action, glanced toward the door and locked eyes with me. Half-light carved his cheekbones into blades, pupils swirling black holes. Reason snapped back. I bolted to my room and slammed the door. That flimsy door doesn't block a single decibel. I could even hear Chase and the woman's voices. The image I just accidentally glimpsed kept replaying, so I yanked on my headphones and cranked the volume until the bass rattled my skull. Headphones don't teleport your ears to another dimension. Sound still leaks through, but it was faint enough to ignore. I can't take this anymore. I have to get out of here. I decided. I'm finding a new place, and this time I swear I'll put as much distance as possible between me and that womanizing train wreck. The noise next door seemed to have stopped. stopped. I cautiously slid the headphones off. Silence. Finally, I exhaled long and slow, then frowned. Why quit halfway through? Did he suddenly grow a conscience? No. I killed the thought mid-breath. What am I even doing? I should be celebrating the quiet. I opened the streaming app and cued the show I've been dying to watch. The buffer wheel was still spinning when Knuckles rattled my door. I scowled, swallowed my irritation, and answered. What do you? The words died in my throat. Chase lounged against the jamb, arms crossed. His pale chest and just right muscles were on full display, fresh off someone's lips. His mouth was a ripe bruise red. Under those long lashes his eyes looked misted, and the hunger in his gravel voice was barely leashed. Got any party props? Always the same. He'll make me dizzy without trying, then dump ice water on the spark. My stare went arctic. Beat it. I spat the word, spun, and slammed the door. Silence on the other side. A full beat later, retreating footsteps. Soon the soundtrack next door fired up again. I shoved the headphones back in and endured. I barely slept. My brain ran laps all night. I have to move. The sooner the better. Every extra day here is slow torture. Morning. Chase is sprawled on the couch, ankle on knee, thumbing his phone. When I emerge with my breakfast burrito, he whistles a cat call. I ignore him, park myself at the table, and tear open a packet of oat milk. The woman from last night is gone. Wham bam thank you ma'am. I assume, but the apartment still feels filthy, and so does he. Apparently he's memory wiped the whole scene. He stands, pulls out the chair beside me, and sits. I pour hot water, side-eyeing him. He doesn't notice, just hijacks my burrito like always, grinning as he unwraps it. Mindy, breakfast of champions again. Kid Sunshine smile, so bright my anger fizzles. You, I start, then just say it. Could you stop ruining people and maybe hold down a real job? He arches a brow, freezing mid-unwrap, genuinely surprised. I clear my throat, groping for softer words. When he says, deal, I blink. Chase's peach blossom eyes soften, single fong flashing. If you insist, I'll grudgingly behave. Huh, that was easy. He turns serious. I've got an audition this afternoon. Big one. If I book it, I might blow up. After that I'll be busy. You'll miss me. His grin is half mischief, half promise. Eyes glittering, pure addiction. Really? The awkwardness melts under that smile. Break a leg. I mean it. Actually, I need to confess something. Shoot. His hand lands over mine around the glass, hot, dry. Reading my flinch, he pulls back and chuckles. That night at Blue I was only messing with you. Those were vitamin candies. Can't believe you bought it. He ruffles my hair like I'm a kitten. Adorable. He fishes an identical tablet from his pocket and offers it. Long fingers, clean nails. Want a sniff? The harmless boy smile again. I eye the candy, and instinctively hold my breath. He laughs softly, pops it into his own mouth. Adam's apple bobbing. He smirks. See, harmless. No weird flush. No glassy stare. I relax and snort. You're full of surprises. Pranking me with vitamin candy. Seriously. He bursts out laughing, palms scrubbing my scalp. Mindy, the way you believed me, priceless. He has zero sense of personal space. Affection spilling like we've dated years. Does he treat every girl he lures home like this? Probably, else why do they follow him? My face chills. I peel his hand off. I'm off to work. I down the oat milk in one go and head to change. The drink tastes oddly sweet. I blame his early morning wattage. Mid-change. Heat fans out inside me, like someone struck a match in my ribcage. Frowning, I shuffle to the kitchen for ice water. Cold down the throat, but the flush climbs higher. No time to dissect it. I just need relief. I aim for the shower, but the door's locked. Chase is inside. Through frosted glass, his blurred silhouette taunts me, and the night he knocked slides back into my head. I swallow hard. Click. Steam billows as he flicks wet hair back. A black robe hangs open on that carved torso. Water beads slide down sharp cheekbones. Eyes deeper and deadlier than ever. Live wires under every glance, sending voltage straight south. My mouth turns to sand, feet to lead, perfect male GPS coordinates, and the want in me spikes like poison. Something wrong? A brow lifts, fingers graze my hair, skin brushing skin, spark central, caught peeking. Huh, that feather touch snaps the last thread. I haul him against me, body flush to body. I miss the slow, wicked curve of his smile. His mouth crashes down, arms scooping me up. Mindy's on fire tonight, is the last coherent sentence before the blaze swallows us. I'm gone. He holds me close and whispers, be mine. When I wake again it's pitch black, body aching. Chase is still out, only the essentials under the blanket. I clutched my phone and texted my boss to say I was calling in sick, then flopped back beside Chase in a fog of surrender. I lay on my side, studying the perfect line of his profile. Just beneath the soft tilt of his eye was that tiny beauty mark my lips had visited countless times only days ago. My head was still spinning. Sleep Sleep was impossible. I gave up and got out of bed. The wreckage of the room made me sigh. I went into the bathroom that always gave me the creeps, rinsed off, changed into fresh clothes, and came back to tidy up. Chase was still out cold, forehead smooth, lost in some sweet dream. I couldn't help myself. I bent and pressed a kiss to the fearless arch of his brow. I figured I'd grab dinner while I had the chance. There were still groceries in the fridge. Mindy, what are you cooking? Smells amazing. Chase was awake somehow. He wrapped his arms around me from behind, burrowing his face into my neck. Voice gravelly with sleep. Tomato egg noodles. The sudden closeness felt awkward, but I couldn't bring myself to shrug him off. My Mindy's so domestic. He pecked my lips, didn't offer to help, just ruffled my hair and ambled out to the living room to wait. When I carried the bowls in, he was hunched over Arena, cursing under his breath. Looked like he'd just lost. Eat while it's hot. Chase flashed a grin, took the chopsticks like it was his due, and dug in without even a thank you. Late as it was, the second he swallowed the last bite, he was gone. No word on where. No hour he'd be back, and dressed to kill. I told myself he just had a restless streak. I'd give him time to change. The moment the door shut, emptiness crashed over me. When had I started needing him beside me this badly? I went to the bedroom to mind my own business. At 1 a.m. a message from Chase popped up. Mindy, can you spot me some cash? I'm in a bind. I'll pay you back the second my acting paycheck lands. Any other time, a guy asking for money a month into dating would have been a red flag parade. But I was high on him. I didn't think, just transferred $3,000. He took the money and never even typed a reply. Days rolled on looking the same. I still clocked in at Blue, but everything felt different. He'd bring me little gifts now and then, always flowers or plushies. So I started noticing the pattern. The guy was broke. Flat broke. He showed up for free meals and hit me up for loans. But I figured he just hadn't caught his break yet. I helped when I could. We were both slammed. Yet the time we stole together felt golden. And I told myself I was happy. That Saturday we both happened to be off. I watched his profile while he gamed and suddenly needed to freeze the moment. I opened my camera and tapped his shoulder. Chase, look up. He lifted his head. I hit the shutter. Our first photo as a couple. When he realized what I'd done, his face went cold. Mindy, delete it. Why? I blinked, stunned. He caught himself and softened. Sorry, babe. I overreacted. I'm just starting out. Zero fan base. If that leaks, I'm finished. Please, for me, erase it, okay? I heard what he wasn't saying. He didn't trust me. I just won't post it, I argued, unwilling to let go of the memory. Look how great it turned out. On-screen Chase was gorgeous as messy bangs, lost puppy eyes, and beside him I was glowing. The picture of cozy love. Be good, Mindy. His tone stayed gentle, but steel underneath. Seeing no wiggle room, I deleted the shot right in front of him. Love you, Mindy. He hauled me in, voice like velvet. For a heartbeat he felt miles away, a wisp of smoke I couldn't catch. I blurted, tell me, are you still in touch with any of those other girls? Huh? He blinked, then tapped my nose with a grin I knew too well. Mindy, are you jealous? Yeah. This time I didn't bother hiding how much his past disgusted me. I needed to know he was done. Chase hugged a pillow. Dead serious. Zero contact. And I should clear the air, those girls before. No feelings involved. I just hated being lonely. Won't happen again. His face was so earnest it felt like a vow carved in stone. I let myself drown in that tender moment. Between his words I pieced together the story. Single mom. No siblings. Childhood spent looking girly, bullied, isolated, scared of solitude his whole life. Hard to picture that lonely kid turning into the heartthrob standing in front of me. I squeezed his hand. You have me now, Mindy. Eyes shining. He leaned in and kissed me. Wait, exhausted. I whimpered, half laughing. The subway car we just left wasn't even crowded. His phone, charging on the coffee table, shrilled. He froze, cursed, and stalked over. I watched him take the call, equal parts relieved and smug. When he came back from the balcony he was already shrugging into his coat and leather shoes. I asked where he was off to. He muttered, stuff, and left. The second the door clicked, I opened my photo app and tapped, recently deleted. There it was, waiting at the top. I hit restore. Ding ding. My alarm wouldn't quit. I slapped it off and started another shift. Chase never came home. Not even a text. I sighed and chalked it up to helplessness. Mindy, is this your boyfriend? Mid-shift my phone buzzed. Stacy had sent a pic. I opened it and my stomach dropped. Black shirt guy, cocky smile, arms around a fresh-faced girl, Picture-perfect match. If only the guy didn't have Chase's face. I itched to bolt, hunt him down, demand answers. But sanity won. Probably just a misunderstanding, I told myself, forcing my heart back into my rib cage. I'd ask after my shift. I texted him, coming home tonight. We need to talk. He answered hours later. Lazy and cool, not tonight. Hit the hey, Mindy, message me if you need anything. The boulder in my chest got heavier. I refused to let it go and texted again. I miss you. Please come back. Silence. I was still fizzing when my WhatsApp pinged with a new friend request. Her profile photo matched the girl in Stacy's picture. The word side chick flashed in neon behind my eyes, but I swallowed the curses and hit accept. She fired the first shot. What exactly are you to Chase? I didn't flinch. We've been together almost a month. What do you think? When minutes ticked by with no answer, I typed, whoever you are, I'm not scared of you. I'm standing on solid ground. You're the one who... I hadn't even finished typing the word homewrecker when a long message from her popped up and I froze. Girl, I'm begging you, stay away from Chase. I was at Blue tonight and his whole crew hit on me the second I walked in. Chase was the worst. He waited till I was wasted and just grabbed me. Open your eyes. Sis. It didn't sound like the story I'd been telling myself. Her sincerity shocked me, and I didn't want to believe it. Wait to drugging. But those pills were just vitamin candy, weren't they? I deleted my draft one character at a time and never replied. I couldn't say I totally believed her, but I couldn't dismiss it either. In the end I knew the truth. I still wanted Chase to explain it away. I'm hopeless that way, and I own it. I don't regret the choice. Days went by. Chase never came home. I kept texting, calling, nothing. By the 5th day, I'd given up. I even tried to pretend he'd never existed. I sighed. Somewhere along the line, sighing had become my default setting. I showered, pulled on pajamas, and headed to the kitchen for a glass of water. That was when the dead-bolted door I hadn't heard in ages clicked open. Chase stepped inside in a long coat, tall and reeking of booze, eyes glassy. I stared straight at him. Odd. After longing for him every second, I felt zero joy, only exhaustion. Did my Mindy miss me? I did. I caved, voice low. The next morning, I asked where he'd been, why every message and call had vanished. Got the part, he said, prepping for the production set. No time for the phone. Congrats. I couldn't muster happiness. His success meant he'd drift farther away. Chase smiled thinly. I'm about to blow up. Aren't you thrilled? Not really. I shook my head. I was just thinking. Jasmine. I blurted the name. His face flickered, then reset. How do you know her? He asked. I laid it all out, even showed the chat log. He listened, silent a beat, then laughed and ruffled my hair like always. Mindy, you're buying this. I'm not that guy. I narrowed my eyes. Swear. Cross my heart. He tapped my nose. We drank for work. That's all. She wanted me. Couldn't have me. So she's trashing me. Simple. Don't spiral. I landed the job. I'll pay you back. When I'm huge, I'll move you into the hills. Every fangirl will hate you. Chase. I followed his daydream and actually smiled. The week's hurt evaporated. He was leaving for set, so I packed for him. There wasn't much. He'd eaten my food, burned my data, skipped rent. All he owned were a few decent shirts. At the door, he kissed my forehead. Later, baby. I smiled back. Hurry home. I sensed he wouldn't return, but I refused to believe it. Once he was gone, I pulled out my phone and stopped the recording app. I'd planned to leak the audio if he played me, but I didn't need to. He'd been sweet. My thumb hovered over delete when I noticed his wallet on the table. He can't be far, I thought, and opened WhatsApp to tell him. The message left my screen. Then a red exclamation mark appeared. Underneath, you've been blocked. I flipped the wallet open and empty. He couldn't even bother to keep the lie alive a few extra days after I'd outlived my use. I should have seen it. The half-hearted texts, the radio silence after his audition. He'd probably signed with an agency weeks ago, decided my spare change wasn't worth answering, and came back only for his clothes. Sleeping with me, calming me, just loose ends. 1 second it was, see you, Mindy. The next I was blacklisted. Pathetic. I was pathetic. I stared at his avatar in the chat until the screen timed out. I dragged myself to Blue, brain looping the undelivered text and the bone-dry wallet. Could a guy really be this broke? My gaze drifted to the corner booth Chase used to claim. A couple now sat there. I watched the guy's hand, a tiny white pill balanced on his palm, dropped into a glass in one smooth motion. It looked familiar. Too familiar, just like that a candy Chase once handed me. This time no manager interrupted. I saw the girl slump minutes after the drink hit her lips. Blood drained from my face. Those weren't vitamins. If I'd swallowed one I'd have been done for. Wait. After that night with Chase I'd felt oddly feverish. I'd blamed my body. But had he dosed me? I clocked out early and walked to landlord's place to pull the security footage. Landlord keeps files 2 months. I found the night easily. I replayed it until the frame froze. While he flirted he'd covered my hand, wrapped around a glass of oat milk. I'd thought he was just handsy. I'd already been played. Everything I'd bottled up detonated. My knees buckled. The hallway tilted. I wanted to die, but I didn't have the guts. My chest felt split open. A month later Chase's new drama series premiered, and I landed on the channel by accident. That face barged into my living room. Cocky grin intact. Skin flawless. The bad boy role tailor-made for him. Just like he'd predicted. Chase blew up, watching his follower count explode. I dialed a tabloid tip line with a blank face. Yeah. Hot tip, listen up. I decided to drag him off that pedestal and bury him underneath it. To him I was interchangeable. I'd show him I wasn't. I'd burn the bridge with both of us on it.